Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany
and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows
like Dawson's Creek, One Tree Hill, and more.
Hi, everyone. I am Brittany.
And I'm Cynthia.
And today we're talking about Season 5, Episode 1, title 4 Years, 6 Months, 2 Days. Air day January 8th, 2008. And the synopsis is:
As promised, Lucas, Brooke, Nathan, Haley, Peyton, and their Tree Hill gang meet up after 4 years of being apart. Haley and Nathan still live in Tree Hill with their now 4-year-old son, James. Nathan's dreams of being an NBA star were smashed. Peyton has quit her job in the record industry. Brooke is living in New York with her multi-million-dollar clothing line, and it's given her a successful career in fashion design. Lucas comes back to Tree Hill with his new girlfriend, Lindsay, suffering writer's block, and the group rekindles to see how much their lives have changed since the simple years of high school. So it was interesting that they're able to find a song that had 4 years in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what song was it?
That's the title. 4 years, 6 months, 2 days is the whole song title. So yeah. So I wonder if they found the song first and decided to do the 4-year jump, or it just came up coincidentally. I wonder.
Yeah, that is weird.
Mm-hmm. I mean, because it's not that odd that they, skipped over college. So I'm just wondering how they planned that. But yeah, and then we kind of start off with the end of season 4 at the River Court,
I like that part because it was like all the happy times when everybody was finally getting along and they were together.
Yeah. Yeah, so then we see the red lettering of "We are here" on the river court. Concrete slowly fades a bit to show the passage of time, and Lucas is standing right above it now 4 years later. The basketball hoop has aged with rust and has a very broken chain. Was that realistic? I felt like it wouldn't look that bad after 4 years, or was it just me?
I don't know. Because, I mean, they do get hurricanes, so I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. And maybe the boys, kept it maintenance, up, maybe.
Probably because they were there like every day.
Yeah. And I'm
So
sure like
so if
Whitey
some-
showed them how to do it or something.
So if something needed to be done, they probably did it.
Yeah. Yeah, so then transitions to the river court hoop to Jamie's little toy basketball hoop.
Oh my God, little Jamie.
And he's playing by the pool, which will show why that's a bad idea later. And Nathan is watching when Haley comes out with the trash.
But Jamie must play by the pool a lot.
He's out. I noticed that they're outside every single time we come to this house. So I don't know. Do they not have a house to shoot in from the inside? I mean, that looks like a real house they're at right there, but I don't know. I was wondering why they're just always outside. You know what I mean? I thought it was weird.
Well, because it's nice outside.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
I know. They were never outside that much when the past 4 years or the past 4 seasons.
Yeah, and then so Nathan's upset with Jamie playing with the hoop, and Haley said his uncle Lucas gave it to him. Nathan's being bitter, saying he doesn't want him playing.
I'm so confused at this. Like, so Lucas just gave it to him, like today.
I guess, yeah.
Like, isn't it like a little strange? It's like, oh, we're coming into a new show or a new era of the show, so it's like, oh, I don't like when I'm playing that. It's like, it's kind of like the whole, like when Dan would mess with Karen, it's like, why didn't he do this the whole time? Why is he doing it now? Where it's like the same thing. Like, why is he saying, I don't want him playing when, what? Like, are you sure he wasn't playing with us yesterday?
Yeah, because when we get those flashbacks to when he was a baby, we saw
Nathan give him a basketball.
Yeah, so he had to have been doing something with him before this point with basketball, yeah.
Yeah, so he probably had something where he was. Remember how Lucas would always have that little basketball hoop on his door? Maybe Jamie had something like that. Like, I don't, and also, it's hard to imagine Nathan Scott not buying a basketball hoop for his son.
Right.
Why would Lucas buy it? Like, it's just because his accident happened 4 months ago, did they say?
Yeah.
So I'm confused at how he wouldn't, because Jamie's 4. I'm confused
Mhm.
why Nathan didn't get it to him when he was 2. Like,
Mhm. Maybe.
that's what I mean. Like, because he gave
Mhm.
him a ball when he was a baby. So
Mhm.
I could see him giving him the little hoop when he was 2 and he can't really shoot. But like, I could see it. Why is he not like, I'm just confused why Nathan wouldn't get him one.
Yeah, maybe he had one before for Jamie, but then threw it away after his accident, but we just didn't see it. But yeah, there should have been a mention of like, well, I threw away his other one. Why does he have a new one now, or something like that? So.
Yeah, because think about it. It's Nathan Scott,
Mhm.
the one who can't live without basketball.
Yeah.
His son wouldn't have a basketball hoop.
Mhm.
It doesn't make any sense.
Mhm.
I could see Lucas's son not having one because, you know, Lucas is interested in different things, but I still would feel like
Mhm.
Lucas's son would have one.
Mhm.
It's just weird that Nathan's wouldn't. It's a little odd, but Uncle
Yeah.
Lucas has to get him one. And Uncle Lucas got it today because again, it's not really explained why Nathan's saying it today. I don't want to play today,
Mhm.
not yesterday.
Right. Yeah. So Haley says that Jamie just wants to be like his dad, and he should go out there and help him. Teach him how to play. And Nathan just says again that he doesn't want Jamie to play.
Grumpy.
Yeah. And
I will
then.
say when I first saw this episode years ago, I was like, oh my God. Because, Nathan was a totally different person.
Mhm.
And then you go to this one and you're like, meh.
Yeah, he's like the complete opposite of Dan right now. Yeah.
But he's also the complete opposite of himself. It's like,
Yeah, but he
who
still has that
is
same
it?
he still has that same anger. If Jamie's doing something that Nathan doesn't want him to do, he's gonna have that anger like with Dan,
Yeah, but Dan
he wanted
played
him to
it.
do.
Like, played it better. Nathan is just playing it angry.
Yeah.
Dan played it funny and
Yeah.
sabotaging.
Good. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But like Nathan has so much anger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe Dan was like this when he first hurt his knee, maybe. And maybe that's kind of like history repeating itself here with these, this son and father, maybe. Of course, like I said, never mentioned again. They had so many chances to kind of connect dots together to make more sense, but yeah, they didn't.
Yeah, where Haley could ask, like,
Mhm.
this is what your father did to you?
Yeah, when he couldn't play basketball anymore, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It just was I just didn't like it. I'm like, eh.
Well, Nathan was a baby though when that happened, so he probably doesn't remember, but still,
But
maybe Deb could have said something.
Dan doesn't like people bringing up his college years because of it. So
Mhm.
it would only make you think that he still would hate it because he hated it
Mhm.
when his kid was a teenager. So I could see if somebody brought it up, he'd be like, "Ugh," you know, after a couple of years where he would still be angry about it.
Mhm. Yeah, it would have been nice if Deb had come up sooner and said, oh, you're acting like your father when he busts his knee, and you shouldn't be treating Jamie like this, to make him snap out of it. But yeah.
Or I don't know. How about remember when you said that my pill addiction wasn't an addiction
Yeah.
or it wasn't a disease. It was something I can
Mhm.
just get over. Well, so is this little Nate. Like this is what I mean. It's coming back.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I just wish Deb was there to be like, listen. Also, where is she?
Yeah, I know she comes back eventually, but I don't remember if she ever mentioned where she was to begin with.
No, because she just like kind of came back as the nanny and it was it.
Yeah, because we know where Dan is, and then we know where, well,
Karen
we
is.
will later, yeah, where she is. And then everybody else's parents were never really there to begin with, so we don't really think about them anyhow. But
Oh, we left off with them living with Deb.
yeah.
To Deb not here's the thing, like Deb's only baby is Nathan.
Mhm.
He injured himself
Mhm.
to where he can't walk.
Mhm.
Why isn't she there taking care of her baby Nathan?
Right.
That's I don't know, that's just a little odd to me because like if that happened to like me or you,
Mhm.
our moms would be there.
Mhm.
It's just a little
Yeah.
odd, that's all.
Yeah, because she was there when Jamie was an infant and she was helping then, but I guess the writers just basically wanted to focus on everybody but the parents, plot wise.
But
That's
couldn't
what
it
she goes
be
to.
couldn't it be like, oh, like, I can't wait till your mom comes back? Like, I don't know, just, like, throwing in that she's there, we just don't ever see her.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like because they didn't want to even have everybody have a parent to begin with, so they probably just wanted to have less parents this time around because they had to keep raising everybody else's, pay for the new seasons anyways. So they didn't see they could afford to have even more than one parent on the show in this season. So,
Or couldn't it be like, that's why your mom had to take vacation? To, like, let us know maybe that's
mhm.
why she's not there. It's like she just is taking vacation because Nathan is just too much.
Yeah, like,
Like, he yelled at her and said, "Go away." Like, he truly yelled at her, so she was like, "I'm going on vacation," and now Haley's left with him, like, just
or
something of, like,
yeah,
she was here taking care of him, I don't know.
or maybe like one of her parents got sick, so she had to go live with them to take care of them or something like that.
Well, it's very quick because we get a quick thing of where Karen is.
Hmm.
Why don't we get us the same update of where Deb is?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the odd thing. Because again,
Hmm.
Deb wouldn't just leave Nathan like
Hmm.
that.
Yeah.
And she comes back perfectly fine in season 6.
Hmm.
It's not like she is in rehab or anything.
Right.
So I just don't get why we couldn't get a little quick update with her.
Hmm. Yeah, she seems to be sober from this point on since season 4. So,
Yeah,
hmm.
that's why I just wish we could have of like, and again, this is your son that can't walk. Why aren't you here helping take care of him?
Right.
And there's a 4-year-old. Like,
Hmm.
I don't know, just kind of weird. Because Deb
Yeah.
would. So I don't get
Hmm.
why she's not.
Yeah. And then we go to California to see Brooke's clothing line, Clothes Over Bros, and it's become very successful there with her big office and her as co-CEO, right? It's her and Victoria.
Well, it's her company.
Yeah, but isn't Victoria another CEO or something?
I don't know.
Because she's always telling her to do stuff, so I figured that they're
Okay.
both CEO.
No, Brooke's CEO and she's whatever the one underneath is.
Oh, well, it
But
just seems like the way she controls Brooke over the company seems like she
because
had
because
50-50.
eventually she tells her this is your company.
I mean, didn't I think she invested or something. She has some kind of power over Brooke. And that's why Brooke
Yeah.
can't really tell her much.
Yeah, she helped her get started because she, I think, had all of the business, what do I call it?
The business side taken care of.
Well, like she was able to get probably all the meetings. Because again,
Oh,
who's gonna hire a 21-year-old?
like connections, you mean?
Yeah, she had all the business connections to get
Mm,
her this far.
right. Okay. Yeah.
But also, aren't they in New York? Because
Yeah.
Peyton,
I wasn't sure about that.
because I thought, because
Well,
it's,
it's just, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Too bad we can ask Sophia really quick, but,
I feel like because it's, fashion, she'd be in New York.
yeah, maybe. I don't know.
And because she can only talk to Peyton on the phone, that she would not be in the same state as her.
Well, they do have a phone call at some point, and I think it's both nighttime for both of them.
No, because she says, "I know it's late," or something, or I know, yeah, it's one or the
Oh,
other. There's a time difference because she said, "I know it's early or late there."
oh yeah, I just remember. I think she was talking to Rachel in that scene. Never mind. Yeah,
So
I don't know.
yeah, Peyton is in California, and I think
Okay.
Brooke is in New York because they do talk
Okay.
about the time difference.
Okay. I thought it was California because it's where Brooke's parents were the whole time that she was in high school. But
And where's Daddy-O?
yes,
We finally meet Mommy, but where's Daddy?
I guess still in California then.
Well,
And
he probably couldn't stay in Victoria either.
yeah, because I know they kind of become separated, so maybe that's why too. About that point when they do. Yeah, so Brooke is, walking around giving, orders to people, including her assistant, Millicent, about dinner reservation. And Millicent knows every detail of her schedule and everything, which I think is impressive
Mhm.
because it seemed very hectic and changing all the time. And then there's a mention of Conan O'Brien. Isn't that the late night host?
Conan O'Brien, yeah.
So I was confused on why he would have anything to do with the fashion line, but because it's not like
they just had to throw some famous person in, I guess. I don't know.
I guess because it's not like fashion designers go on talk show hosts, and talk about clothes. So I was like thought that was random.
Well, I think some might if they're well known.
Maybe, yeah. And then, Brooke makes the comment about the model being too skinny, so it's not going to work for the cover. And she has that quote that, she looks unhealthy and anorexia is a disease, not a fashion statement, which is so true.
I was glad that she said that because, Victoria is obviously the opposite and Brooke is like, oh. And I'm glad that she said that because it was like the old Brooke coming out of like high school Brooke of like, no, like, where she's not becoming Victoria. Like right now when she's ordering people on it, that's Victoria. But her saying that statement, I'm like, okay, there's a Brooke in there. Like, because a lot of it right now in this episode is all Victoria. But it's like there's a little bit of Brooke coming out.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad she said that anyhow, because back in the 2000s, it was still kind of the in thing to be skinny too. So it was a big deal for her to say this here in 2008.
Yep.
And then apparently Brooke has to go to a movie premiere, but she can only make the carpet and actually see the movie. So the funny part was, she asks Millicent to book any Nick, apparently. And Millicent,
she thought it was actual Nicks.
Yeah, because even I knew what she was talking about, Yeah. And then Millicent tells Millicent, Brooke tells Millicent to let Victoria know that she'll wait for her in the limo. Millicent says Victoria isn't going to like that. And Brooke says, Victoria works for her. Oh, okay. Yep. So Brooke is a CEO. It just the way that Victoria, talks to her just seemed like that she had a bigger role in the company to me. Yeah, sorry, I forgot that one little line there.
I think she wants to be.
Yeah, definitely. And then we see Peyton in her office at the record label, or what we think is to be her office until the actual guy comes in, John, the label president. And Peyton is apparently the assistant to the assistant. I didn't even know that was a thing, but okay. And then, yeah. And then, she says that she has some unsigned bands that she would love for him to hear. And, John says that, to her, he's losing his hair, hung over, and have 2 different alimony payments due, and 7 lines are ringing. So she, leaves to go take care of that.
I did not like when he said that she could go to the meeting if she unbuttoned her shirt.
Yeah.
So she does, though.
Yeah, I hated that too. Yeah, and it just sad because this isn't fictional at all. This does happen in real life, and even worse than that. So, unfortunately, in that kind of industry, and then it's obvious we know that the creator wrote these lines only for Peyton, of course, because of the whole thing with Hillary. And like I said, it's sad that men are actually like this in the industry, anyhow. And then Jamie is coloring in Haley's classroom when Lucas walks in, and he's making the joke that he's grown up too fast, and he's like, "You're in high school already," and Jamie's like, "No, I'm only 4, really cute." And Lucas is like, "Yeah, 4 going on 40," and then asks what Jamie's drawing, and he says he can't see, it's not done yet, and Lucas says he understands that because he feels the same way with his writing. And then Haley says to Lucas, sounds like the writing isn't going well, and he says it's not going at all because he's not inspired at all. And then he asks her how her student teaching is going. She says it's been great, but next week she's gonna just be her. And Lucas says she's gonna be great. And then they bring up the nanny, and Haley says no, they haven't found one yet. And Lucas tells her, she can't babysit him forever, have him sit in the class like that. But by him, he actually means Nathan, not Jamie. And Haley says it's only been 4 months, so. And then we go back to Nathan is at home watching an old announcement of players being recruited into the NBA. So from my memory, I thought it was like Well, I thought it was like still a college thing, but I didn't know that he almost got recruited first here, and then he actually does later on. I thought that was only one time that he was being um considered for the NBA.
No,
'Cause
that's why he is mopey. Is because he was that close of making it to the NBA and he lost it from on himself.
Okay.
That's why I said the only person he can blame is himself because
Mhm.
if he would not have gotten in the fight, his butt would be in the NBA right now. Well, it ain't, so that's your own fault.
Mm. I'm just wondering if that would be realistic if you lose it one time, but you can get it back later on. I'm wondering. It probably depends on what happened, but still. I feel like
Yeah.
for his case, I don't know. Like, would he be physically fit to even be joined later on? I don't think so.
Well, especially when he plays that slam, whatever. Remember, he has all those bruises from that slam dunk game.
I actually don't, so I'll have to see when we get to that
Yeah,
point.
like
But
he's so like Jamie's so worried about him, and then he like wakes up and he's got like these bruises, and I'm like, and then he finally realizes like he needs to stop, and it's like, no crap, like,
Mhm.
but yeah, it's like I don't know, especially because he's been stuck to the couch. I know, on his own will. Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh, but I also have questions about that. Like after 4 months, if he's not doing their physical therapy,
Mhm.
what's the chances of him actually being able to just get up and walk?
Right. Yeah.
I'm confused at that. Like he's not in physical therapy trying to
Mhm.
move.
Right.
So I'm very confused at how realistic that is of like, oh, just get up and move.
Yeah. No, it's not. Mm-mm.
Plus, he um he clearly went into a depression and everything right after, so he probably didn't take care of himself right
Mm-mm.
after either.
Mhm.
Like when they go home and say, do this, do this. He
Mhm.
probably did none of that. And
Mm-mm.
so made it worse, I'm sure.
Yep.
So now he's to the place that he is now. So it's like, if that's the case, I don't get how 4 months later he can just get up and walk.
Right.
Because remember, they even talk about in the episode, oh, the doctor said he can start walking.
Mhm.
After 4 months of being in a wheelchair?
Right. Yeah.
Weren't you like confused at that? And I could see too, again, if you were doing like leg therapy,
Mhm.
moving your legs, but he has been sitting on the couch all day.
Mhm.
Or not even sitting, laying on the couch all day.
Right.
Because again, if you're sitting on the couch, you can still do leg movements trying to work to get your legs back, but he ain't doing none of that. I don't get how he can just start walking.
Yeah, you think with his injury he would have been in rehab, living there full time to get better. But then he also could decline that as well as his right. But yeah,
He probably
so
did. He probably did. That's probably why
mhm.
he is the way he is.
Yeah.
Also too, like, well, because think about it, like Haley would have to bathe him,
Mhm.
or they'd have to hire someone to bathe him.
Mhm. Nurse, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, meh. Yeah, she's got a 4-year-old to deal with.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I just didn't really think that was realistic. Again, if
Mm.
he was doing these things, that would be more realistic. But even then, I would still probably question it.
Mhm.
Also, too, what are also the odds of him not only walking, but running and playing basketball again?
I don't know, it depends on his injury, but we don't get the details of that, like, because he broke his spine, right? Did did they say that?
I don't know. I don't remember. But,
Or he bruised it, I don't know.
well,
It
because
really
remember, he
depends.
said, I can't feel my legs.
I think it was the glass that punctured his spine, maybe. I think that's what it probably did. It struck something like his spinal cord, maybe. I think that's what happened.
Because I know when isn't it like when he's in the wheelchair, he like kind of like like trying to get out of it. He like has to like move his leg, like one leg and then his other leg.
Mhm.
It's not like
Mhm.
you can just like stand up, like,
Right.
eh, I'm like, okay, if that's the case where you have to like truly move your leg to stand up, I don't
Mhm.
know how you can go from that to running
Mhm.
full speed
Right.
and being able to play on a court.
Yeah, I think it was the glass that did it to him when he went through the window. Because it couldn't have been the push alone. It
No,
was just the glass that he landed on.
I mean, I
And
guess it could
yeah,
have been the push because he did land somewhat on his. I mean, he landed on his back, but
maybe it was a combination of both. I don't know.
yeah. I mean, think about how much glass was probably in his
Mm-hmm.
back too. Not even just
Yeah.
his leg, but his back. But yeah, because they focus more, not even on the back. They focus on the
Mm-hmm.
legs.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also confused at that because if he was pushed out of the window,
Mm-hmm.
how? Why are we focusing on the legs? Wouldn't he be
Every like
paralyzed?
or had he could have hit the sidewalk and cracked his head open too. Even so.
But I just feel like why are we so worried about him walking when wouldn't he have back problems?
Mm-hmm. He should. Yeah.
Like be paralyzed?
Yeah. Or nerve damage. Yeah.
Yeah, but again,
Mm-hmm.
that's never talked about as
Mm-mm.
how's your back?
Mm-hmm.
It's always about him and his legs and walking.
Yeah.
It's
Because
never about, well, we got to make sure that your
Mm-hmm.
back is okay to walk and to stand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because I broke my back, but I didn't become paralyzed from it. I just had the pain for like 10 seconds and I just started walking again. But I think it really depends on where the damage is to the spinal cord that could really mess you up for the worse. So I was lucky, and like I said, I wasn't paralyzed. I just had that fracture. It was a stress fracture. So yeah, I don't know.
I don't get it. It's definitely TV logic because again, there are people that, you know, just they go to physical therapy, they work their little butts off, and
Mm-hmm.
Nathan does none of it and is fine.
Right.
It's annoying. Like
Mm-hmm.
I just wish that was like said, like, well, if you went to physical therapy, you could have walked or you could
Mm-hmm.
have tried to sit up. Like, I don't know, something.
Yeah, and then we see the flashback of Nathan and Haley house shopping after he was recruited for the Sonics' 10th pick. And, Haley's happy for him because he's worked hard for this for the last 4 years.
I'm confused.
Because it sounds like he was already picked, right?
Well, he's going house shopping because he thinks he's getting picked because I'm sure that he was in talks with the coach. That's
Yeah.
why he knew he was going to be 10th pick. But my thing is, he went. My thing is, they bought the house. They're living in the house. How did they afford the house? Because he didn't actually become an NBA player. So that money, that contract that he would have signed that day on draft day would not be there because they gave it to somebody else. So I don't get how they're affording this $1 million house, and it's $1 million house. How? They have no money.
No, well, because they're gonna get 2 houses, one in Seattle, one Tree Hill, and the one in Tree Hill, they bought from the shoe deal that he made, the brand deal alone. So the house in Seattle was going to be the one that they would get for the NBA with that income. So
I'm surprised there was a shoe deal after.
yeah, it should have fell through. And even if it didn't, I can't see it lasting more than 2 years or something. I don't know, maybe 3. I don't know. I don't know anything about when it comes to brand deals and any sport players like that because I don't follow that. I just know it like other brand deals for like makeup and influencers and stuff like that. But
I have not heard, because I feel like the NFL is bigger than the NBA. I have not heard NFL players that are, I'm gonna call them newbies, that get in the sign in the NFL that they just get all of these brand deals. I've never heard of that.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're borrowing money from Deb. I don't know. Maybe
Like
Nathan.
people that get brand deals in like the NFL, it's
Mm-hmm.
because they've been in the NFL for a couple of years.
Right.
They don't just sign, never play a game.
Mm-hmm.
and get a brand deal before they actually sign. Like, because he didn't actually sign. So how is he getting a brand deal when, again, I've never heard of any player get it. No well-known player that I know, let's just say, got brand deals before they signed.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know if it's because he was playing at college so well, like, but that's still unheard of anyhow. But
but he
probably TV
wasn't
logic again.
he wasn't playing at Duke. He was playing at wasn't he? He was playing in a community college.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
So
definitely. Yeah. No.
so how again, I could see like, a Duke player getting maybe a contract of some deal, but first of all, not a multi-million-dollar deal, first of all. Because that's $1 million house. Um,
I
again,
don't know.
not enough to cover that, first of all. Secondly, not enough to before you even signed. Like,
Hmm.
and again, he played college at a community. Like, there's nothing wrong with playing at a community school, but
Hmm.
I just can't see somebody from a community school getting a deal when there's top colleges, top players. I don't even know how he made it to the NBA. I'm gonna be honest, because he
Hmm.
went to a community school
Hmm.
or community college. I don't see it.
I
It
guess if he was playing the best that they've ever seen at a community college, I guess. But it's just basically like the apartment again here is what we're looking at. Unless, I mean, maybe Dan felt guilty for what he did to Keith, so he gave Nathan money before he went to prison. I don't know, or like giving him something a month. I don't know.
Yeah, but Nathan hasn't like visited him that we know of. So why would? Because think about it, if your kids aren't
Yeah,
visiting you, even in prison, you're not going to go and give them money.
maybe Dan just still cares about Nathan. That's why he understands why he doesn't see him. Maybe.
But I'm just so confused because I'm just like, um, huh? Because again, and because even too, like people that do book deals, the person that actually wrote the author is probably not making as much. Like if it's their first book, like Lucas, probably not making as much as um the actual publishing company. Like
Mm.
when you hear all those books sold and it was this much money, you really think the author made all that? No. It was the publishing company. It
Right,
was
and that was.
it was the stores that the book is in. It wasn't
Mhm.
the author. The author is not making that much money. So I wouldn't see him making this much. Remember when Brooke had her clothes in stores? Do you really think she made all millions of dollars right away?
Right.
No.
Mhm.
And that's my point. Is like I don't get how Nathan would. Again, they were taking it as he was going to be a pro athlete. Well, that didn't happen. So I would think that they would take that away.
Maybe Deb sold the house and gave Nathan the money and she downsized. I don't know.
That was my big fault with this episode was I don't get how they're living in this house.
Yeah, because I can see her doing that because she wasn't happy living there alone before, so she definitely wouldn't now. So she probably did sell it and gave Nathan the money, and they didn't want to live there either, so they just got this new house. So I don't know.
The only thing I could actually agree with if it happened was Haley got a deal with a record label.
Yeah, even though it seems like she still hasn't done music since high school, but yeah.
But even then, she would
Mm-hmm.
then be a new artist because
Mm-hmm.
she hasn't done it in a while. And I don't think new artists are living in $1 million houses.
Mm-mm.
So again, that still wouldn't really be realistic, but I would take it.
Mm-hmm.
More realistic than this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we just see that happy moment of them together, thinking that things are just going to get better from here. And then we go back to present day when we see now that Nathan is in a wheelchair. So, yeah, the whole time we just saw him sitting down. So we didn't see the chair itself until this moment. And then Mouth is making his demo reel for, being in. Okay, I didn't think of this, but like, when did he go from wanting to be a sports announcer to news reporter? Or was it like sports reporting the sports on the news, right?
Mm-hmm.
It just seems like he went back a little bit. He wanted to cover. I don't know, maybe I'm thinking too much about it, but because it seemed like he wanted to announce games, not do it on the news kind of thing. So that's why I'm confused when did he change that dream exactly? It just kind of seemed random. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was more confused at why nobody's paying rent.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so who's working? Just Skills right now?
But Skills only just got a job.
Yeah.
Where have they been living?
I mean, Junk has to been doing something because he was the oldest.
Because he says you guys owe me pizza money or whatever. And told Mouth you owe me rent money.
I don't know then. I don't know.
But they are playing video games all day. I don't get how they have time for jobs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because if they were doing that today, they could make money off of doing it now, but not back in 2008. No.
So I'm like, the only one that has a job in this apartment is Skills, and he just got it.
Mm-hmm.
It's all confusing. Plus, again, he's a high school assistant coach.
Mm-hmm.
They don't get paid that much.
Are they both coaches or?
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, he's assistant. Okay, yeah.
But again, they don't get paid that much.
Yeah.
Head coach is Lucas.
Well, I don't know. I think the captions are what I was hearing too. So the assistant head coach. I don't know.
Yeah, well, yeah. Assistant.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just like, it wouldn't make them. It's not like you're in college where you're making big bucks like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, like coaches that I know, they have day jobs.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like coaching is a second job.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get where they can afford this.
Yeah, apparently a lot of people on the show just can have a place to live without actually doing any work for it. So seems that way. And then Mouth keeps getting interrupted by them because he's trying to do his demo reel, but
that was sad because he actually wants a job, unlike them.
Yeah.
And he can't get one because he can't focus, he's trying to focus, but they are just being obnoxious little teenagers.
Mm-hmm. And then Lucas walks into the gym of Tree Hill, when Skills walks in and, saying 6 months ago, when they asked him to fix this mess, what were they thinking, and saying yes. And that's when Lucas says Skills is a new assistant head coach of the Tree Hill Ravens. So that was like their way of telling the audience, like, this is where they're at now, because they could have been at any gym doing this, but they're in Tree Hill. And then Skills tells Lucas that as if he could afford him. And he says, Lucas, head coach, local boy makes good. And Lucas corrects that local boys make good. Trying to make sure that Skills knows that it's not just him that's been doing good and, in their career.
So when they show the banner or whatever of the state championship,
Mm-hmm.
I went back and I was like, I had to rewatch the scene because I wanted to see if it had a year on there.
Right. Yeah, no, I never did.
Nope. And
I noticed that first time.
Have you actually seen banners in schools?
Yeah, I've seen them in our school. Yeah, there's years on all of them. Yeah.
Thank you. Like, me too. I've seen them in our school too. And there is years on trophies. There's years on banner. There's the years on there.
Yeah, obviously they knew that they were going to do the
jump,
the times. Yeah, so they didn't want to like put 2007 and then we were supposed to be in 2011, but it's 2008 and it says 2007. It's just kind of confusing everybody, which I get,
Well, remember I told you I wanted to see this season and the future seasons if they were going to mess up.
Right.
If they were going, if they were going to tell the story as if they're going to mess up a year. And because remember, they're the graduating class of 2007. So I always wondered when they were going to mess it up. Well, here they continue that they are not messing up.
Yeah, I think it would have been maybe a little trickier, but maybe a little bit better if they had they did have a year on there, but maybe only like the 2-0 on it. And then Lucas could be standing in front of it. So you can't see the last two numbers to see exactly what year it is, but it would still have a year. So it would look right, at least somewhat. But yeah, so I don't know.
Because if you go into any gym, they have the year.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, that's a little fishy, but I know why
Yeah.
they did it because they couldn't put just last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, they proved, to the team that they know what they're doing by coaching this team. And the skills makes a basket too to show that he's got the skills too still. Pun 10.
He's got the
Um,
skills.
yeah. I didn't even think of that till I said it. But yeah, so Lucas says that, losing's over because apparently they haven't won anything since these two graduated. So
Well, that's because they don't have a Scot on the team. Apparently, this town only wins when there's a Scot on the team.
mm-hmm. And then in a meeting that Peyton's in, John isn't liking what he's hearing. And the guy pitching says that the singer's young and hot and her social life's a train wreck. I think they're trying to make fun of pop stars back then. Probably maybe Britney Spears at the time. Probably, but
Yeah, well, how old did they say she was?
who?
This
Brit-
this
Just
girl.
young. They just said young. They didn't say an actual age
Well,
number.
I didn't know if it was like a Disney Channel star, like that they were making fun of.
Well, I'm thinking Britney because that's when everything happened with her back then. So about this time.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah.
didn't know either, but because it could be any of them.
Yeah.
I didn't like that comment because I'm like, seriously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just sounds like that they could, take advantage of her because she was a so-called train wreck. So
But have anybody actually looked at why they are a so-called train wreck?
yeah, we know now, but back then they didn't really care about the
Because
actual performer.
like in Brittany's situation, you can see
Mm-hmm.
why it all went downhill.
Yeah, we know that now. Yeah, back then nobody knew, but
I
her
mean,
close circle.
nobody was watching her.
No.
And they were telling her to do stuff that she believed was right, and it wasn't. Like, her parents weren't there, they were with her sister. Like, oh yeah, that's great. It's like, and her sister got more special treatment than she
Mm-hmm.
got,
Mm-hmm.
which not a lie infuriates me.
Right.
Like Brittany had two little boys and was going through something, and Jamie Lynn gets pregnant as a teenager and gets all the treatment in the world by her parents.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah. So then Payne suggests about the band that she is interested in. She has a CD. So John, says, okay, why not? So then she plays it and,
He says, let's go with the girl.
the actress. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Then
So
he
he
says,
doesn't like her.
didn't he say, like, go get me coffee or something? Or the other guy
Lunch
said that?
menus. Yeah.
Rude.
Yep.
As in, you're useless here, so go away.
Yeah. That had been the assistant. Yeah.
Yeah, go be our assistant.
Mm-hmm. And then at home, Nathan takes out the shoes that he got from the shoe sponsorship and even has like his initials and his jersey number on them and everything. And then we get to the flashback where he first got them. Haley's there at first, but she has to go, let the babysitter go home. So she leaves early. Because the draft was about to start that night too. So it was a big night for him.
It was the night before.
Oh, because she told Nathan to stay because the draft is about to start.
No,
she told him.
She said she told him to celebrate because it's the day before the draft. So they were out celebrating.
I don't know. I look at my captions and I listen at the same time, but I thought it was because it was about to start. So
oh no, she would have been there if the draft was there. Because she'd be right there. But she said, because I heard her, because she said it was the night before the draft. So she wanted him to celebrate with his friends, and then because once the draft hits, you're going to be celebrating with everybody. But
so then the other guys on the team were all there for Nathan Schubrand alone.
Apparently,
again? Okay, because it seemed like it was the draft to me, like they were watching on TV there for some reason.
Well,
but...
I think it was because like drafts are done in certain, like there's every year there's a city that they have the draft in.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe those people were there in town for the draft because it was tomorrow. So they were already there. So that's why the one messed with Nathan because he was in town for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because like the NFL draft last year was in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
So some people were there and some people were not.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think maybe this other guy was already there in town when the draft the next day. But yeah, Haley said the draft was the next day.
Oh, okay. And then Lucas is at home writing, but then deletes what he typed, and then types "I suck." And Justin gets a video call from Lindsay, his
And
editor.
you think it's only his editor.
Mm-hmm. So she wants him. She's hoping that he's writing the best pages of his life. And he says, just a few sentences is what he wrote, but then deleted them because they sucked. And Lindsay's like, I can't be your editor if you don't give me anything to edit, because her job's on the line too. So she wants him to have anything to get to give her. And then he pretends he's losing the connection to the call, shaking the top of his laptop screen, and says there's an earthquake.
That was funny.
Yeah, because they can't have earthquakes in North Carolina, or can they? I'm not sure.
I know. I just thought it was funny because I know that Lindsay's girlfriend, so I was okay with that.
Yeah, well, either way, she knows he's faking, but then he closes the laptop. So even when you close your laptop, you don't hang up your call, though. That was my thing. At least I think so. I never tried that because I didn't think it would work, but it seems like the call would still be going. Your screen would just be black, maybe. I don't know. Anybody can correct me on this, but
I
it
don't
just
know.
seemed like you would hang up the
Maybe
call first.
maybe the laptops back in 2008 did it.
Maybe, yeah. And then Brooke does arrive at the red carpet with a man, a Nick. And then later, Brooke and the guy are in the limo with Victoria. And Brooke mentions, to the guy, mentions the guy and how the paparazzi are out of control. But Victoria says, pay them that they paid a lot of money to talk about the brand. So that's why that they're even there in the first place.
Oh my God. But then Victoria chimes in.
About Nick?
Yes. Because she wants them to stop talking and basically leave.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because she goes, it's clothes over bros, Nick.
Yeah.
She said, we want tabloids to think that she's sleeping with you. She's not actually sleeping with you.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all PR.
Yeah, but this is the start of Victoria Davis.
Mm-hmm. And then, and closes the door in his face before he can even tell Brooke to call him. And Brooke, tells Victoria that was rude. And she said, Victoria says it's been a long day, but tomorrow's even larger. And she tells Brooke her schedule about everything and what to do, what to say, basically. And that she just needs to look beautiful and talk about her passion and her creativity. And then she's made a change to the model lineup. And this is when we get a update about where Rachel is. Because it seemed like that they were still, good friends at the end of season 4. But apparently Rachel isn't doing well, so Victoria wants to let her go. But Brooke does, because that's her friend. Which is understandable, but that's why it's tricky working with friends too if things go wrong. But
yeah, don't I know?
Yeah, and she's making Brooke do it too. Like, I mean, which does make sense because she's a CEO, so that makes sense. But of course, Brooke doesn't want to do it because that's her friend again.
Did you hear me?
Yeah. I just wasn't sure if you wanted to stay on that for very long. And then, and then she even says, it's your company. She just works there. So yeah, that's repeated again.
The whole time she's going on, getting rid of, shooing Nick away, all this. It's like acting like she's in charge. And then she says to Brooke, oh, like you get rid of her because she, like you get rid of her because it's your company. It's like, wait a minute. If that's the case, like if you tell me that it's my company, I'm gonna be in charge. Like you're not gonna shoo Nick away. You're not gonna tell me who to fire because if I want to keep somebody on, I'm gonna keep somebody on. Like, yeah, really, Victoria? Like you tell her to fire someone, but say you're gonna do it. But then you say it's your company. Well, if it's her company, if she wants to keep her, it's her choice, Victoria.
Right.
I wish Brooke would have said that because the high school Brooke would have.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't remember if she was the CEO or not with Brooke, both of them, because the way she acts, it seems like she is. So then later that night, Brooke is eating alone. And she picks up the phone, calls Rachel to tell her that it's not going to work out for the fashion show, and then it's not going to work at all. She's going to have to let her go. So yeah, we don't get to, hear Rachel on the phone or anything. It's just from that one-sided conversation there. And then Lucas walks into Jamie's room with a postcard from his Aunt Karen and cousin Lily, who are in
See?
Ireland.
They made it very specific that that's his cousin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's correct, right?
Yep. But
yeah.
Lily will eventually say that she is the aunt and she's not.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so then he quizzes Jamie on geography to see if he can find Ireland on the map so they can put the postcard there. And then, Jamie asks if they'll see Karen and Lily again, and Lucas says, of course they will. And we actually do, which is surprising. Because usually when they say a parent's going to come by, we don't see them. So it's shocking that we actually do later on.
Well, it's only for an episode or two.
Yeah, but still, we never saw Haley's parents from
her dad.
them. Yeah.
Well, her mom will see, but her dad, no.
Yeah, I mean, when it came to the graduation and then having the baby, they didn't come back for that. We didn't see them. So, and then same thing with Peyton and, her dad going to California with her when she goes over there. We just didn't see them for any things that you would see your parent for, mild events.
Well, it would be hard to get Huey Lewis again.
Right. And then in the living room, Nathan is using one of his trophies to grab a bottle of gin from a high shelf that Haley hid from him. And then that's when Lucas walks in. So Nathan explains that Haley keeps it out of reach for obvious reasons.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
If Nathan can't go anywhere, how's this liquor coming into the house?
Yeah, that's what the girls mentioned on the podcast too. And it made me think too, because it can't be Haley or Lucas because they know his problem.
Because if I don't want you drinking because you're Nathan, I'm not buying alcohol. I don't know what this is.
Yeah, and then I wouldn't hide it. I would just get rid of it altogether. So
and I wouldn't buy it. So I don't understand who's buying this alcohol for him, because if he can't drive and he can't move because he's a couch potato
and delivery didn't exist yet.
Exactly. So I don't understand who is getting this for him.
The only person that would make sense if they kept it consistent would be Tim. He would be the only one that would actually get him the alcohol.
But he's MIA.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that he would be the one that would make sense to get him it in the first place.
Yeah, because I mean, Skills
if there was to be anybody.
Because Skills knows don't do it.
All the other guys do. Yeah, everybody knows not to. So it would only be him that wouldn't have the brain cells to figure that out, to not give him any. So
I'm just confused at how he's getting this alcohol, because why? This is what he does all day.
Yeah, it's not Deb either, because she would be the one lecturing him, if anything. So
she'd be the one pouring it out.
Yeah.
I think.
So then, Lucas asks how's physical therapy, and Nathan comes back with how's your second book coming along? He knows how to dodge his tough questions with, Lucas's hard questions.
Yeah, go back at him. Yeah.
And
then this is where Lucas says that Haley said that the doctor said you'll be up on your feet any day. I still don't understand how.
Well, if he is doing PT, then he should be able to have some more mobility, but not much. If he seems like he's still not serious about it. But
I feel like wasn't the physical therapist be like, how much alcohol are you drinking?
Yeah, because you think he would be drunk trying to walk or move or something, be unstable with his balance and everything. I don't know.
And then they would be like, well, we can't exactly help you because you might fall over.
Yeah,
you're not stable on your own, so you're a liability to us.
Yeah,
for drinking.
And then Lucas, tells him he's pretty lucky, and Nathan says, "Yeah, that's him, Mr. Lucky," sarcastically.
I wish Lucas, somebody would have said, "You did this to yourself, Dumbo."
Yeah, Lucas just meant that he's lucky that he can even have the ability to walk again.
But look who's getting the title Dumbo now. But then he said, "Luke, I'm never going to play basketball." Look in the mirror. Who did it? You.
Yeah.
So irritating.
Yeah, so that's when Lucas takes the bottle from Nathan and tells Nathan to walk over to him to get it. And
But then he said, what Nathan goes, why don't I walk over there and kick your ass? And then Lucas goes, kicking's good.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But then he has to turn and say to give him the bottle, or Dan's not going to be the only Scott brother to kill his brother. What?
Yeah, that's possibly the worst thing you could ever say to Lucas, especially because, Lucas was the one that was closest to Keith, and then nobody even believed that Dan killed Keith. Lucas was trying to get evidence the whole time, and Nathan didn't believe him, so that's just the worst thing you could say. And then even more so that Jamie comes just walking up a second later.
Little Jamie. But also, too, like, that's your brother. The one that's helped you for years now. And you're going to say those words?
Yep.
First of all, you never mess with those words. Secondly, no, Nathan. Like, you honestly would not be where you are if it wasn't for Lucas. Because remember, if Lucas didn't help shave those points, your little butt would be dead. Because Dante would have done something to you.
Yep.
I'm just saying that Lucas helped you, and he's constantly helping Nathan. This is what I mean. When does Nathan ever help Lucas out? Never. Right. All he does is stress Lucas out. I'm surprised Lucas didn't go gray. Because Nathan is stressing me out.
Yeah. Yeah, so Lucas tells Nathan, real nice, because Jamie probably heard some of that. Doesn't understand it, but, heard it. And then he puts the bottle down and leaves with Jamie. And then Skills, Fergie, and Junk are at the river court. Some things don't change. But no one is telling Skills who ate his pizza, joking that it ate itself. Mel says he was working on his audition reel, so he didn't eat it. And Skills says that, that's when he brings up the rent money and everybody that, everybody owes him.
But then Lucas comes up with Jamie to the river court. So this is like Jamie's first time on the river court that we see. Obviously, he's been there. And it was so cute to see Skills and Jamie. Oh, it's one of my favorite relationships.
Yeah, because Skills gives Jamie that jersey too, even though it's way too big for him right now.
I know, it was so cute. But how'd you like what he said when he came up? He called him Big Game James.
Yeah. And then even Fergie gives Jamie the ball to show them, what he's got.
And then, of course, Skills stops it. And then, oh my God, with Jamie's little voice, he's like, darn it, Uncle Skills, you always do that. It's so cute.
Yeah.
But then, did you like what he said?
Skills that he has to learn.
Yeah. He said, Shorty shouldn't be or no, he said, what did he say? Oh, because they said that he's 4, and he said he's gotta learn it sometime. Like, oh my God.
Yeah. And then back in California, John walks up asking what Peyton thinks. And she answers she thinks that he's right about the act that they signed today. Her songs blow, so why did he sign her? And he asks how long Peyton has been in LA and where from. Peyton says Tree Hill, 4 years. And then he asks, why did she come there? And she said she always wanted to discover and sign bands that could change someone's life like they changed hers. And, John basically sees Peyton as this naive, very optimistic young person who can, do good in the world when that's not the industry, at least the reality of it, which sadly still isn't today. That's why a lot of artists are more independent, because they have more freedom that way. So, yeah, nothing really changes after this still, even 2008. But, yeah, you just got to do what you got to do to make money, basically, John tells Peyton. But Peyton disagrees, saying that there are still young kids that want to actually listen to good music. And, they're all looking for something to believe in, and that music can be the thing that changes their world. And then, John's like, this is why you're the assistant to the assistant, and you're not out there to get the world saved. And they just, the young people just had a bad day. They want to get out and drunk and get laid. And he tells her she's as smart and as talented as anyone at the label, but she goes so much further along if she could accept the business of what it is and play the game.
So I will say, like, Peyton was in the same position as Dawson was. Very naive. Because he also thought he was gonna go to California and it'd be roses and everything, and it's not. And he learned the hard way too. And Peyton's learning it too.
Yeah, well, he thought he'd be making a big movie his first year there, you know.
Yeah, and she thought she would be signing artists.
Yeah, well, at least it's not like that big a jump where his was like major jump, but yeah.
But they both think that, like, they know the industry and this is the way it's gonna go, and it's like, but that's not the way that it is. So they both kind of had to learn a hard lesson. I'm glad Peyton changes the industry in her town, but obviously not truly.
Yeah, not in Hollywood, no.
No.
Yeah, because she says she's not interested in playing the game, and John tells her she already did when she dropped the button to get into the meeting. And then he has to say, drop a few more, and they'll probably give her his job. And that's when Peyton says, she will have his job one day, but just not that way. And then he just tells her to have fun at the clubs tonight, the assistant to the assistant. And then Jamie is playing a basketball video game with Skills, Fergie, and Junk. And Lucas tells him what to do, helping out. And they basically are like on the 4 guys are on 2 different teams, and Jamie's with Lucas and Skills.
And they win.
Yep. So they all celebrate.
And then, Lucas picks Jamie up and has upside down. And then Haley walks in, of course.
Yep. And Jamie explains that they just won the game. And Haley sees the jersey, and, Jamie says Uncle Skills gave it to him. So then Lucas tells Haley like he talked to Nathan and gave him grief about not being on his feet yet. And Haley says, Nathan's just in a dark place. And Lucas tells her that she has to push Nathan. And Jamie says, go back to Lucas and tells him he has to go home. And besides, he should be writing, which was funny.
It was so cute.
Yeah. And then, Peyton walks home and passes by a billboard sign for Brooke's Clothes Over Bros, but doesn't see it. And then Brooke is interviewed on the red carpet, being asked, does she miss acting young, not being the boss of this huge corporation, just being the 12-year-old or 21-year-old girl. And Brooke says, she misses it. But before she can even say more, Victoria, of course, has to butt in and says they're moving on. Just so Brooke doesn't make the company look bad or make her look like she regrets, having it in the first place. Try and protect
all I know, because I know it's going to be brought up again, they're 21. How?
Yeah, because when the last season, was it season 3, Brooke turned 18. So yeah, she should be 22 at least out of all of them,
if not 23.
Yeah,
because this is 4.5 years later.
Yep.
Because she turned 18 when they were still playing basketball, which is halfway through the school year, which means 4.5 years later, she'd be 23.
Yeah, unless Victoria made her a year younger to seem more successful. I don't know, but
I'm like, but they all talk about it. No, when they have their drinks next episode, the episode after they're like, yeah, we're 21. I'm like, how are you people 21? I just want to know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because none of you should be 21. If it's been 4.5 years, you'd at least be 22.
Right, yeah.
Because even if you're 17 and a half when you graduate, 4.5 years later, you would be 22.
Right, yeah.
Sorry to tell you guys, but I guess here's the thing. Sorry, but I guess the writers they didn't know how to add numbers. Because if they did, 4.5 years would put them at a different age than 21.
Yeah, they would have had to skip a year to be that young. Yeah,
because they've been 17 for so long, and then they were 21 for so long. I'm like, they would not be 21 because when you're 18 when you graduate, 4 years later you're 22. It's not that hard. But the fact that she's 21 4.5 years later would mean she graduated like 16.
Yeah, so I don't know.
And that wasn't the case because we know she was 18. So didn't make any sense.
Yeah, so Brooke just says that, Clothes Over Rose is her dream come true. It's what she wished for. And then we still see Payne walking home. I guess it's a long way to get home. And then Lucas is on his computer, but the dock is still blank. And then Peyton ends up walking past a stand with Lucas's book while also spotting Brooke on the cover of a magazine. And then Haley and Jamie get home, and Haley sees Nathan's chairs empty and immediately tells Jamie to go upstairs. They kind of, I don't know why, but to me, Haley's reaction made it seem like that he did something to himself, and that's why she told Jamie to go in his room when she saw the chair was empty. Or was that just me? Because we didn't see him on the couch until it zoomed out on him. But right before that, just made it look like something bad happened.
No, I think she just was, because Lucas said you got to push him, so I think she was ready to confront him.
No, it just seemed like she walked in on something she saw. So I don't know. I guess that's just me, how she reacted. Yeah. So, and then he left a big mess, and Haley's always picking it up. Like, I would be tired of that too by now.
I think that's what she didn't want Jamie to keep seeing is the mess of all
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, like, I need to clean this up before my 4-year-old sees it.
And then I think she thought he was sleeping because she whispers she can, as in she can't be doing this anymore. And she says to him, like, as if he can hear her, but she thinks that he's sleeping. Says that they can't be doing this anymore. His son needs him. Please don't turn to his father. And then that's when Nathan.
He said my father's in prison, and so am I. Excuse you.
Yeah.
Boy, please. I can't with them in this episode.
Yeah. And Haley says, that he could just walk out, which is true. Well, I mean, not literally because he hasn't tried, but yeah, he could.
I liked when she said, unlike him, you can walk. It's like,
yeah.
Yep. Yeah, but the physical therapist did say that soon he'll be able to. So that's where she's coming from with this.
Yeah. And then Peyton finally gets home with that copy of the magazine with Brooke and Lucas's book. And we see that she's bought multiple copies of Lucas's book, including the audiobook that's on a CD. And now we can just listen to those on our phones, which is crazy. And she plays it on her chapter that he wrote about her, but then turns it off.
Yeah, she's destined for greatness.
Yep, after that part, yep.
Yep.
And then Brooke comes home to many voicemails on her machine, but she deletes them before even playing them.
I have a thing with this, though.
What?
47 messages on her personal answer machine.
Yeah, I was thinking it was probably Rachel trying to call her back about what happened with the modeling job.
Because I was like, you would have that many if it was like your work phone, but not your answer machine at your house.
Yeah, I think it was Rachel. Mainly a little bit of Victoria, but mostly Rachel probably. Yeah, trying to get a hold of her.
I was just thinking, you can't have that many from work because it'd be in your, because who has your personal house number?
Right. It probably would be Rachel, if anybody. And then Lucas is in his room when he looks at the poster for his book signing. And then Peyton is sitting on her windowsill.
I like when she calls and you think it's probably Lucas.
Yeah, but it's a misdirect. Yep.
But of course it's Brooke.
But I think they played this part, like repeated it too many times later on.
Yeah, because they played at the end.
And like 3 different times, like we go back to this part where she's on the windowsill. But for the first time, she says, what happened to them. She doesn't know who she is anymore, how she got there.
She misses who they were.
And then we see, Nathan drink in front of his trophy display case, and that I wrote a word. I know it's not the word I was looking for, but chokes on the liquor. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. And then Nathan throws the bottle at the display case, breaking things, and then he starts breaking more trophies, throwing them.
Then Jamie gets scared and goes into Haley's room.
Yeah, which is really sad.
I'm sorry, but that would infuriate me. Like if I was Haley.
Yeah.
Like, you're scaring my baby.
Yeah, because it seemed like that this happened before many times.
Like, that is when I'd give him the ultimatum. We're done, because you're not going to keep scaring my kid like this.
Because Dan probably didn't do this kind of thing either. So,
but wouldn't you? That would be like my last straw, wouldn't it? To you? You're scaring my kid.
Yeah, because I'm surprised that Haley didn't go in there and yell at him right there. So.
Oh, I would have. I would have been like, Jamie, you stay right here. I'm going to get him.
Yeah, because he's scaring Jamie and he's like destroying things, making a mess that she'll have to pick up too. So,
Yep.
mm-hmm,
So that's why I was like, I don't think so.
mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Peyton's still talking, saying she wants to have a home again and real friends. And then we see the four guys, Skills, Fergie, Junk, and Mouse shooting water guns at each other like little kids. And then Peyton tells Brooke that she misses her. And the next morning, Lucas goes to see Lindsay at her office. And he tells her that he's sorry for missing the deadline again. And she knows she has people to answer to. And
Then
it's
it's
not fair
funny
to her.
because and then he said, before you start yelling at me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, whatever.
Right.
I don't really care about these two.
Yeah, and she was just saying how, she's read so many different manuscripts, but his actually really spoke to her. And then, apparently it's been 2 years since his last book came out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know much about the book world, that job industry, but 2 years does seem kind of a long time if you want to keep going at it, as a long career. So,
yeah, but if you're writing about your personal life,
mm-hmm.
you need more things to happen to you to write another book.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people probably do fiction, really, because you can write as much as you want from that.
But his first one was about his life, so
and it was like 18 years worth. So
yeah. So what's the next one going to be off?
Yeah, it's like he'll need another 18 years just to get that one. But yeah, so she doesn't know what to do because he's not writing. And Lucas tells her that she would give him more time because he's handsome, trying to flirt his way.
But then she told him to close the door and basically leave.
Yeah. And then Brooke's red carpet interview from earlier is being played on TV. Then Victoria turns it off.
Yeah, and she said that's not the face of a happy girl who got everything she wished for.
Mm-hmm. And Brooke says, she didn't get everything. And Victoria asks, what about the trip to Milan? And Brooke says it was a trip for work. And, Victoria wants to see the face of a girl who gets to go to Italy tomorrow to approve the textiles for the fall line.
I will say Brooke is being very childish here.
How?
Because she could work around her own dang schedule.
What do you mean?
It's her company.
Mm-hmm. Even though Victoria seems to have control of it.
As in she's her own boss.
Yeah, but not with the way Victoria acts with her.
Oh, all she has to do is stand up to Victoria or get rid of her.
Yeah, well, she doesn't feel like she has the confidence to do that.
No, but she's being like one of those rich, selfish girls of like, hello, who wouldn't want to go, even if it's a business trip to Milan and stuff? Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, she's living a great life, okay? And there's some that don't. I'm just saying from personal experience, like, Brooke, you're being very selfish to me. You are definitely acting 21. I just don't like her, the way she's acting. Like I agree with Victoria. Like, you get to go to these places and it's for work. So you get out of your town that you're in. You get to see new places, even if it is for work. Are you kidding me?
Well, I think Brooke just lost her passion for the clothing line along the way, and she doesn't know how to get it back. That's why she feels stuck right now.
I know,
like
but how
missing.
she's acting is very childish.
Mm.
And I kind of agree with Victoria on that. Of like, this is what you wanted, and it's not Victoria's fault that you're not happy.
Well, it seems like she's a big part of it with the control she has over Brooke.
Okay, but if she didn't have this, then she would be what? It seems like she got to skip college and go straight to business. How many people can do that?
Well, I don't know. I feel like Brooke probably did something fashion-wise, at least. Maybe not the business-wise, and that's why she brought Victoria in. But yeah,
because it seems like everyone else is just getting out of college, and where Brooke already has a successful clothing line. Like, how many people can say that at 21?
Right.
It's like, that's what I mean. Of like, it's a little selfish. Like, I know she's not trying to be, but I just don't like the way she's acting of like I have to go here. It's like, seriously? You can't if you want to be a fashion designer, you probably can't live in Tree Hill forever. Like realistically. Because you need to be up with the new fashion and stuff. Like, I'm sorry, Brooke, this is what you wanted.
Maybe back then, yeah.
Okay, but then admit that that's not what you want. Instead of acting selfish here.
Well, maybe she can admit then it would be selfish for her to say that.
Well, I just think she is. It's like, come on now.
Yeah, she just lost the passion for it, I think, and that's why she feels so stuck, like I said.
Because again, she has money. It's like a rich. It's definitely like the rich person problem that she's got going on. We're like, we don't have that.
And then back at Peyton's workplace, John asks her, what the sushi place is called because it's lunchtime. But then Peyton goes on to say, that he was wrong yesterday about the kids. They're not just the club to just forget about things.
See, like Peyton actually has to deal with somebody who's a pig.
Yeah. Well, I don't think Victoria is much better.
But I'm just saying, like, those two are very different. Like, one owns her own business and the other one is the assistant to assistant of a label. Like Peyton's not really going to move up, it doesn't seem like.
Yeah, so she gives a speech about, if the day comes that she just thinks it's about making money and it's going to be the day that she's betrayed everything she believes in about music and life herself. And then there's just silence until John asks if that was the sushi place. And she just says that she quits then and she's going back home. And John tells her she's making a mistake, but Payne says she's fixing one. And then Jamie is watching Nathan sleep in the living room on the couch.
This is weird.
Because he's just watching him?
No, because he says, I think you drink too much. And then Nathan says, I think you're right. What does that mean? Like, first of all, it doesn't make sense because, again, I do know another scene. And I think you know it too. It's the big one where Haley goes at him and they argue. And remember she throws the glass and everything. And it's because he's drinking. And my whole thing is when he says, I think you drink too much, and his answer is, I think you're right. To me, that means it's like a change of like, now that my son saw, I'm going to start changing. But he doesn't because Haley argues with him as when she's done, when she's fed up. And that's not this episode. So he's lying to his son, telling his son, I think you're right. No, then you don't think he's right then. Because you don't change after this episode.
Right.
You continue to go down. So I just didn't like that because it sounded like, oh, he's going to change for Jamie. But he doesn't.
Right. Yeah. They played it off a little bit longer that he was having this struggle. Yeah.
I just didn't like that they said it here. It would have been one thing of after Haley had argued with them, then he said that, but
or right before.
Yeah. And then it would have been like, my son said it, my wife said it. I think I need to change.
Yeah, it should have been at least the same episode, yeah, which is just one more after this. I don't know why they couldn't just wait till the next one, but yeah, then Lucas finds the photo of him and Nathan from his wedding and then finds one of Peyton around the same time.
The fact that it's just in his drawer.
Yeah.
Where Lindsay could find it. It's funny.
Because they live together at this point, right?
Yeah, because remember, she's in his room when he walks in.
Yeah, I mean, she could just be spending nights sometimes, but yeah. And then Payne arrives.
Yeah, but you don't think that she could go through his drawer?
Yeah, if she was nosy like that, yeah.
Well, if they've been together for 2 years or they've known each other for 2 years, then I'm sure she feels comfortable enough to go through his things.
Yeah. And then Payne arrives in Tree Hill walking to the airport. And back with Brooke, Millicent tells her that her boarding pass and itineraries in her bag, basically just making sure everything's up to, her checklist is there. And because she's showing her off to Milan. That's where she thinks everybody thinks Brooke's. That's where she's going. But it was funny because Millicent wants to make sure nothing's missed, and she said that she even gave Brooke her parents' house number. So I thought it was crossing the line professional wise, but yeah. But I did like how Brooke told Millicent that she's a great assistant and she should have fun while she's gone. She's only young once. And then they're about the same age too, aren't they? Millicent? They didn't really say how old she is, but it just seemed like they're the same age.
Yeah, they never say how old she is, but because
Yeah.
she marries Mouth, you would think that they're the same age.
Yeah, because she doesn't look like she's 18, 19, you know? So, and then Nathan's at home watching that same tape about the recruitment for the NBA back then.
See, this is when he's like Dan, of like just repeating the same thing over and over. Like, just get rid of the tape.
Mm-hmm. And then we get the flashback of when the accident happened with the other guys on the Portland team. You know, basically giving Nathan a hard time for being on the other team.
Mm-hmm.
And Greg, that's the guy's name, smacks the paper out of Nathan's hand because he was like asking for his autograph and everything as a joke. And that's when Nathan stands up ready to fight, but then Lucas gets in between them, telling Nathan he has too much to lose, and he was right.
So he goes to the car wanting to drive, but Haley said don't, you know, because they've been drinking.
Yeah, he told him. Yeah, she told him that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
Lucas tells him again.
Lucas is like, no, let's not do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then he hears the guy saying that he pushed him or something, or he said something first.
Yeah, like well, I was gonna say before that in the car when he looked like he was gonna take off driving, I think that was like a mislead to think for a second. That made us think that that's how he ended up in the wheelchair because he was drunk driving. But then he gets back out of the car, and then I feel like he would have been too far away too to hear Greg. But anyways,
I know that was my thing. I'm like, really?
Yeah,
but okay.
So Greg was claiming that Nathan hit him, and he's going to sue, and that's when Nathan goes back in. Yeah. And he says, you know, to Greg that he never touched him, and if he did, he'd been out cold right now.
And then he said that you should have left with that fat ass wife.
Yep. So yeah, everybody, not Greg, but we know, the audience knows by now that you can't just say something about Haley. Yeah. Without Nathan attacking you. Yep.
I will say, like, Nathan was already ready to fight before that.
Yeah, but that was the last straw.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, just like when he punched Dan too, when he said something about Haley.
And then of course, it's one on however many, and he's trying to kick and everything, and it doesn't. It's like it finally just doesn't go in Nathan's way because Nathan thinks he's invincible, and he's not.
Yeah. And then I was wondering if Lucas stopped him from driving the car, where did he go afterward? How did Nathan go in there and start this fight without Lucas being outside somewhere?
Because Lucas was going to go grab the limo driver.
Oh, okay. I forgot about that part. I was wondering where he went for a minute.
Oh, when he turns the corner and he sees Nathan on the ground. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so it was a very unfair fight with like multiple people from the other team.
But if you see that many people, why say something?
Right, and why didn't nobody else break this up? Like, didn't they? Because this was a bar, right? They didn't have a bouncer or somebody or security guard, somebody, even the owner of the bar, to tell them to stop or something.
Well,
you know?
When he said I'm on press charges, wasn't he talking to security or the police?
Oh, I thought he was just talking to anybody in general.
No.
But yeah. So, you know, of course, like we said, Lucas says Nathan says he can't feel his legs, and then we hear about the NBA draft again, and Lucas calls for somebody to help Nathan. And showing the present day again, his name wasn't called for the draft, of course. And then Peyton is at the river court, or maybe it was called for. I don't know. So Peyton's at the river court. Lucas gives up writing, and he looks at his basketball. So that's how they end up in the same place. But then Jamie is coloring in his room when Haley tells him it's time for bed, and she helps him get ready. And that's when Jamie asks, you know, why is Dad so sad? And she answers that it's just a rough time for him, but he loves him, and doesn't he know that? But Jamie only says that his Uncle Lucas loves him, which is really sad. So basically, he's starting to already grow up like how Lucas was. You know, his dad, he doesn't feel like his dad loves him or cares about him, but his uncle does. So
I know that was sad. Yeah. Uncle Lucas loves him.
Yep. So history repeating itself all over again. Yep.
Poor little guy.
cycle continues. Yeah. So then Lucas ends up at the river court when Peyton is still there. She asks how long it's been, and he says 2 years. And she tells him it's been longer than that. And then she admits she missed him. And then she walks towards him, but he steps back, saying he has someone, then clarifies he's with someone. And then Brooke arrives in Tree Hill at the airport, and she sees a huge sign with a poster for clothes over bros, so she's everywhere. And then Skills, Fergie, and Junk are asleep in the living room while Mouth is still awake working on his demo reel. And then just again back to Clothes Over Bros. Like when it comes to fashion lines, I usually see like when it comes to like marketing and posters and everything, I only see like models with the clothes. I never see the actual fashion designer. Do you?
No, it's always models.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering, why is Brooke everywhere? Just her face alone, you know what I mean? It just seems a bit odd.
Yeah, because I feel like even stuff I've seen of Kim Kardashian's line, it's models.
Yeah, so I was just wondering why Brooke is only everywhere. But yeah. And then Payne is left alone at the river court and takes a copy of Lucas's book out of her bag. And then we flash back to when she was on the phone. And, you know, seeing from last time again, while we see Lucas take out a ring box, opening it up to reveal a ring inside, and then closes the box quickly when he hears Lindsay tell him to come to bed. And then, you know, she apologizes for yesterday, and she only agreed to, you know, split her time there because she promised the, you know, her boss that she would get him on track if she was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've been with him for how long, and you haven't given him any inspiration?
Yeah, so you know, he says that he still loves her, and she tells him she loves him too. And then we hear Payne again from her phone call with Brooke, and when we see Haley in her empty classroom because she's nervous about her first day. And then Nathan is in the wheelchair by the pool, which we will see later what happens later. It's always that pool with all three of them. They all three of them have an incident in that pool. And then he goes to make a basket on Jamie's hoop, but then misses and has a tamper, you know, and he throws it when Jamie comes walking up. And, you know, Jamie looks sad.
He almost hit little Jamie. Oh.
Yeah, it was close. Yeah, but landed near him. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, like little Jamie's face just breaks my heart.
And he was bringing him that drawing that he drew Nathan, you know.
I know, like he still loves his daddy.
Because it was a drawing of him playing basketball. Yep.
Oh, it's just so sad.
And then that's when Jamie goes to walk away, but then Nathan tells him, like, hold on, and shows him that he can stand up from the chair, and then tells Jamie he's sorry, and then hugs him. So again, this is another scene that makes you think he's going to turn around, but then doesn't, which is weird. So yeah, they should have just kind of switched everything, all these scenes here. And then Payne is again sitting on her windowsill in LA from earlier, repeating what she said. And then we finally hear Brooke now on the other end. And, you know, she says 4 years ago seemed all clear. They're going to conquer the world. And Payne asks Brooke, like, you know, if she's happy. And Brooke says sometimes, but not always. And she asks Payne the same question. And Payne says no. So then Brooke asks her what's going to make her happy. Like, and goes through the whole list of everything. Because she has all of those things and she doesn't think it's enough. And then that's when Payne asks Brooke, you know, what is enough then? And Brooke says love, she thinks. And that love can be for a boy or girl or a place or a way of life or a family. But where she finds it, it's up to her. So she asks Payne where she's going to find that love. And Payne says she thinks she needs to go home. And Brooke says she was hoping she'd say that. So they had the same idea. So they meet at the airport when they land in Tree Hill. And they have that, you know, special reunion. And they hug and everything. And Brooke tells Payne they're home now. So it's going to be okay. Yep.
What did you think when Lucas was at the river court with Peyton?
Like how he reacted or why he was even there, or
well, it was just weird. They're there at the same time. And like she wasn't going. She was there for hours.
Right, yeah, I thought she was there for a while.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. And then I'm with someone. But
yeah, so obviously they didn't plan to meet there at the same time, but yeah, it just happened.
But like for Peyton's reaction when he said he's with somebody, you haven't seen each other in 2 years.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be single for 2 years.
Yeah, that's why I said before in our I think toward the end of season 4, but like Peyton holds on to the words that he said to her in his book and before that, thinking he was gonna love her forever and everything. And at this point, when you're watching this for the first time, you don't know exactly what happened between them, but then we do later on. But still, like, they just seem like they gave up on each other way too quickly and way too easily. But yeah, it was kind of stupid for Peyton to think that after 2 years of not having like any communication or anything at all, that things would go back to the way they were 2 years ago before they walked away from each other, basically. But yeah, so
Right. I'm like,
mhm,
2 years. So he's supposed to be sad and depressed like you are
mhm.
for 2 years and not date anyone. Well, that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, because if I were Peyton, I would be asking like maybe Skills or somebody or Miles, like, how's Lucas doing? Like, is he seeing anybody before I come back home so I don't get, surprised like that? Because
But
you never
again,
know what you're coming home to.
but did you see our face? It was like, really? And
Like
it's
hurt,
like,
yeah.
it's like he just moved on in a week.
Right.
Like, she's acting like that. It's like it's been a week since they saw each other and he's already with somebody. It's like, you last spoke in 2 years.
Right. At least, yeah.
I mean, really? I don't get it. Plus, he's young. Is he supposed to just go the rest of his life without being with somebody?
Right.
I just didn't like that either. I was like, eventually he needs to move on if it's not going to be with you.
Right.
For the show purposes, no, he can be single. But in real life purposes, no, he needs to move on. So I just didn't like that. Also, I did have an issue. When is this supposed to be airing? Because it's 4 years and 6 months since the last episode, which was in June of the year before.
Yeah, someone mentioned that in the Drama Queens too. They're surprised that this started in January. It probably was a schedule thing, I'm guessing. Like something else had to air that fall.
No,
I'm
not talking about that. I'm talking about the show itself.
Well, it should be January, but
So
it's not cold there. You mean?
well, it's like no. I'm saying okay. So I looked up when the NBA drafts are.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Because they said it's been 4 months
right.
since his accident.
So it should be what, June probably or something later than that even.
Well, it says so for this year. The drafts were in June.
Oh, so then we should be in like what, October? About? So fall.
So yeah, so if the draft is in June, at the end of June, and it's 4 months later, we'd be at the end of October. So I don't.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess Haley could start her teaching a little bit later, but it'd still be weird because you think a teacher would start at the very beginning of the school year. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and then oh no, and then yeah, because Lucas and Skills are training the team right now, and they don't do that at this time of the year, right?
No, it's in December.
Yeah, so everything's either late or too early to be happening right now. I guess they had to make it sync up, so they're all doing something at the same time.
Well, and when you like do your teaching, whatchamacallit?
Your student teaching
Your student teaching, you do it
with another teacher.
well, no, you do it like March to what like remember when in sophomore year we had that student teacher? We had her at the end of sophomore year. She didn't remember because I mean think about it, because then they graduate.
Okay, what subject was this?
History.
Do we have the same history teacher?
Everybody had him.
And was that towards the end of the year?
I don't know when it was, but it was sometime within the year.
Because I remember I was gone for like, I think 2 or 3 months because of my surgery. I think that was when this person might have been there because I don't remember this at all.
Yeah. So she was there. And so my thing is, then she would have graduated May or June and then started teaching that fall.
Right. That's why I said Haley is like a month or so late to start teaching on her own.
A month? I mean,
because
yeah.
Because if it's a new school year, I mean, like, she wouldn't be starting teacher as her, by herself now. It would have been at the beginning of the school year already, like a month ago at least.
Yeah, so that was thrown off.
Mhm.
But so was the NBA thing, because I'm like,
Yeah.
when would the NBA draft
Mhm.
happen if this is like December, January? If
Mhm.
that's what they're claiming, it's a little off.
Yeah, I think this is just gonna be a lot of TV logic from this point on with everybody.
Because, well, it is. Because in a very short few episodes, Jamie is going to have a birthday.
Yeah, and he wouldn't be turning 5 until the next year.
Well, until the
She
end of the until the end of the school year,
Mhm.
because he was born on graduation day,
Yeah, so
and they have the party during basketball season.
yeah, it's supposed to be 4 years and 6 months. So yeah, it should be close to November or something.
Yeah, because I was like,
TV show wise, yeah.
because if they if everything ended in May, like let's say they graduate and everything and all
Mhm.
that in May, then um then 6 months later would be November.
Yep. Which would
I
make a
mean,
little bit more sense for basketball, but definitely not for Haley teaching right now by
no,
herself.
Haley's would be off. Also
Mhm.
too though, remember they had the party like 2 weeks after Jamie was born,
Mhm.
which would probably take you to June. So, and that's where we would leave off. So 6 months later would take you to December.
Yeah, about
So again, the draft was in June.
right.
Doesn't exactly add up to um when hit all this would be, because I that was
Mhm.
just thrown off to me. I don't
Mhm.
think that makes much sense at all.
Yeah, I guess, like I said, the writers just needed everybody to sync up together at the same point in time, and this is how they did it. So
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so that was just my whole thing of when all that occurred.
yeah, I think they're just trying to keep them on the same timeline. Besides for Brooke, because obviously she made it farther than anybody else, but just and like I don't know, you know what I mean? That's just TV logic. We gotta say so.
Yeah. Um, so for me, the high, uh, having Brooke and Payne come home, and also because they're gonna all finally be together, which is where they remember. I don't like when they all do their own thing.
Mhm.
They all need to be in the same town.
Mhm.
So otherwise shows just don't work.
Mhm.
So them coming home because it's finally they're too distant this episode. And then my other one was Lucas and Jamie, and it was so cute in this episode because he said, "You look like me," and it's like, we know.
Mhm.
Or because remember he said how smart he was, and he said, "You sure you're not my kid?"
Right.
Oh, also, when Haley goes back to the school,
In this episode or the next episode?
this one,
Okay.
and she sits at her desk because
Mhm.
it's the night before she's supposed to teach.
Mhm.
It took me back to that teacher, Nick guy,
Mhm.
because remember he snuck in when it was nighttime
Mhm.
and she's there at night. I was just like, why do all the teachers sneak in at night?
Oh, I thought it was daytime. I didn't think about it being nighttime because
Remember, because
it's unusual to be there at night, so I didn't think of it.
yeah, because I'm like, it's like nighttime and she's just sitting there. And I was
Mhm.
like, that's interesting.
Maybe Turner just lets them walk in. Like, you can go in at any time the day before, even if it's dark outside, probably because he trusts them
Here's
that much. And then
here's
it's
the
Haley too,
alarm.
so of course
Here's
he trusts Haley.
yeah, here's the alarm code for you.
Mhm.
Lock up.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh my god. So I like that, and of course, I just love Jamie.
Mhm.
Um, and then the worst was the was Peyton's boss. I didn't like those scenes, and I
Mhm.
did not like Nathan.
Right.
Yeah, it was too much of Nathan being a jerk in this episode, and it's hard because we go from good Nathan last episode from last
Mhm.
season to this one.
Mhm.
What about you?
Yeah, my high and low was Payne and Nathan, not Nathan, Payne and Brooke coming home because they were both missing something, and I think that was Tree Hill was home. They just, they thought they could have their dreams out somewhere else, but it just their true hearts were in Tree Hill. That was what they were both missing, and they figured that out together, which I liked. And that they, out of every, besides for the guys, like they seemed to be in constant communication too, which was nice because you think they would both, and then with Brooke's busy schedule too, you think that she would lose, contact with Peyton, but she didn't. So I like that. And then the worst was just how Nathan was acting with, making all the noise with the bottle throwing and scaring Jamie and almost hurting Jamie with the basketball hoop, just being too aggressive and violent near him.
Well, and two, that was Jamie's basketball hoop.
Yeah.
Like, think about like his little heart breaking because that's his, and
Yeah.
his daddy is throwing it.
Yeah. And he just wanted to be like his dad too. And he's just trying the thing that made him feel like that.
And his uncle bought it for him. Like, that's
Yeah.
just so sad. That would scar the little kid.
And yeah, so
I'm surprised it's never talked about of like
yeah.
Nathan scarring him.
Yeah. Because we know already the damage he's doing to Jamie because, that's why, with, like you said, like Uncle Lucas loves me. So he's already got the idea into his head that his dad doesn't love him. So.
Well, then he does that. He throws his stuff.
Yeah. And he's just making it worse. Yeah. Showing Jamie that he's right.
But
he's thinking.
Isn't it weird it's never talked about after?
No. Yeah. Yeah. Jamie, we thought the kids went through a lot before, but Jamie, they were teenagers, and Jamie is 4, 5, 6, about the last few seasons, maybe a little bit older, maybe. And I think he goes through the most, almost, besides for pain, but like he goes, because he's like, if he's not experiencing something traumatic, it's like he's next to the person that's going through the traumatic thing. So he just always seems to be there, kind of like Lucas being there with Peyton, but it's like now Jamie's the ones that is always in the wrong place at the right, wrong time. So.
Well, and like Jamie continues to idolize Nathan. You would think that he wouldn't.
Yeah.
You would think that he'd be too scarred to idolize somebody like that. You would think he would idolize Lucas and not Nathan, but instead it's never brought up that he's scarred. He just loves Nathan and idolizes Nathan and wants to be him. And it's like, but what?
Yeah, and then with him being so young too, he doesn't even have these memories of Nathan of what he used to be. He just sees it all on tape. So that's all he's taking it from. So you think that it would be harder for him to understand too that that's who his father actually was, because he's too little to, understand that completely. Like he could be looking at like a movie and think the same thing. Like, that's the kind of guy he's on TV, but not in real life. So the fact that he was able to even see him that way to begin with was something. So just shows that he's really smart too and aware.
And it's been 4 months of Jamie living like this. That's a long time for him to have to remember who his dad was. And, when's he going to be happy again? I mean, that's a lot. You would think that the kid would be like, this is who he is. Like, I just got to stay out of his way. That's just sad.
Yeah.
And I guess it's a good thing he never scarred him.
Yeah. And then rating?
I'd rate this a 7.5. Because it was just too much of like them being distant and too much of them repeating Peyton on the phone and her coming home. Like, come on then. I also don't know where Deb is.
Right.
I still have questions.
I mean, they never mentioned Dan either. Yeah. I mean, it's always where he is, but like they know.
No, he did. He said he's in prison.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Never mind. I was thinking Karen for a second was the only one that was mentioned. Yeah. So everybody but Deb. Yeah. And she should be the one that's still in Tree Hill too. So yeah.
What'd you rate it?
Like an 8. Yeah. I think it was a good starter for when it comes to time jumps that I've seen. Riverdale is the only one I can come up with a time jump. But yeah, at least they were like, it made sense because Riverdale went off the rails too much and unrealistic, even worse than this. So yeah.
And then So for me, the worst was Nathan, of course. I mean, he was just so terrible to Haley and Jamie, especially Jamie.
And
And
Lucas, yep.
then he goes and threatens his brother.
Yep.
The same violence his father did.
Mm-hmm.
So, that to me was like, you were already on the edge and then you were done.
Yeah.
So I was like, you're on your own. So I was like, you're the worst. And then, and then to me, I thought the best was Lucas because he is taking Jamie, helping Haley, and trying to deal with Nathan. And
Yep.
like I'm sure he probably helped get Skills the job. He is watching over Jamie when Haley isn't. Like he's just being there for them.
Yep. He's being Keith. Yep.
Yep. So that's why to me he was the best.
Mm-hmm.
How about you?
Yep. Same thing for both of them. I was gonna say something about one of them and I forget now. Yeah, but just Lucas is always just being the better person, and helping everybody, like Keith, showed him too. And oh, there we go. Yeah, so like, if I were Lucas, I wouldn't blame him for like not talking to Nathan after what he told him like that about killing, Scott killing her brother.
Yep.
Like, I would just like focus on Jamie and Haley at that point, and just let Nathan be, at that point, because like I said, that was the most hurtful thing you could ever say to Lucas ever.
Yeah, I wish he would have said like, well, then you can go rat.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Or you can
something.
join Dan in the cell next to him or something like that.
I'll raise Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
You can go sit in the cell with your daddy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where you belong.
Yep.
Just something of like a dig at him of like, that's your dad.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got Keith. Like,
Yep.
that's yours.
Mm-hmm.
But I also didn't like it because it was like Nathan is Dan's son. It's like, ugh, just repeating it is enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then what's next episode?
Episode 2, Racing Like a Pro.
This isn't when Nanny Carey comes in, is it?
Yeah, it is, but it's also when Jamie does that kart racing thing. That's probably where they got that for this, but yeah.
I don't like her.
Yeah, and then Quinnen is also introduced, so it's like this is like when the season starts actually, the ball starts rolling with it. Yeah.
I don't like season 5 though.
I thought it was okay, but yeah.
I don't like
a rough start.
but I don't like it because Nanny Carey and Lindsay, if they'd go away, the season would be great.
Right.
Those are the two that I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're there to break up my couples.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't here for it.
Yeah, well, this season has to have conflict somehow.
They can. Just not this kind. Well, why are they always gonna be broken up every season?
Yeah.
Can we just let somebody be happy?
Mm-hmm.
So that's my feeling. All right. Thanks for listening.
Yep, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would appreciate it.